Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Good morning, everybody. It is Cowboy. It is 8:31 a.m. EST, and the CPI just came out, and it was a little bit cool. It was cool. Let's see. What does that mean? Well, let's talk about that. What does that mean? Let me go ahead and flip over to the screen that shows the CPI. Okay. Now, what we're looking at here, my layout just got all screwed up. Month over month was cool. So it was just a little bit lower than expected. That was the core CPI. Regular CPI, or whatever you call it, just basically as expected and year over year as expected. So in the end, what these all mean is that it's a decent chance that holding the rates high has done its job. Not to say this is legitimate, it's just what the numbers say. These numbers are very fudgeable, and it's kind of more of a machination or a machination of they fudge the numbers to control things. Let's just put it that way. Now, when the numbers are cool, the logic is that, okay, we may be able to go ahead and cut rates. That's the simple way of putting it without getting too deep into like the whole, mechanism of it. And we're seeing the effect in particular with Bitcoin right now. So if we take a look at Bitcoin here, and I zoom in, because right now we're on the 3-hour chart. So I'm going to go into like the 5-minute chart, and you can see that price poked up a little bit. You see this? I believe this is on the 1-minute chart. That's the 5-minute. So nice little move here from 92,000 to 92,600. That's significant. And you'll see it here, especially in the forex market. Big move on the euro in the 5-minute chart. Let's see here. Big move on USD JPY. So the USD is getting weaker, the dollar getting weaker. People moving out of the dollar into other assets, thinking that the dollar getting weaker is going to cause other assets to go up. And it will reflect here. I don't have the live data on the NASDAQ right now, but it will reflect there shortly, ideally where the NASDAQ pops up. We'll take a look at that here in a few minutes. But in general, that's what we'll see. Now, we'll go ahead and back out and start looking at a few different charts here. So let's go ahead and brief look at silver. This silver is reflecting, again, if the dollar's getting weaker, that's a look at inflation. If they're going to print dollars, eventually it's going to end up as inflation, and that's why you see the nice pop up here on silver with that data coming out. Gold will probably look the same. Yep, gold popping up. The all-time high on gold was over at 46.30, and I get the feeling we're probably going to see that by the end of the week. And silver should be at all-time highs right now. So everything kind of just popping up here, and I think we're starting to see the move here. Nope, not quite yet on NASDAQ. We're seeing a little volatility. It's probably going to pop up here in a few minutes. Again, I don't have the live data on the NASDAQ feed. I don't trade right now the NASDAQ. I don't trade the indices, and they're really good things to trade. It's nothing against trading it at all. Like, it's a great way to do it. Let me see here. My display has gotten funky. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to do that either. Here we go. So I had to fix something on my screen. So we'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin. I think that's what a lot of people want to see right now. And now TradingView is stalling out. So we'll give TradingView a minute. Let me go ahead and take a look at all the chat from Algo Factory. Yeah, silver higher. Yep. Internet went out there for a second. Apologies, everybody. So yeah, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. We got some comments in the private chat, so we'll take a look at that real quick. Cool Cat in the private chat says that as metals become unobtainium for average investors, will crypto be the next panic to own assets? I'm watching Bitcoin to see if that invalidate. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good theory. So the theory proposed by Cool Cat in the private chat is that perhaps money will flow into crypto because metals are getting too expensive. I don't know. I think, I mean, it might be. But the further you get into the 4-year cycle, the more risky crypto gets. Now, there's always the theory that the 4-year cycle doesn't matter quite anymore. But the problem with that is we don't know that, right? We only know that there is the 4-year cycle. We know that the halving is a thing. But looking at crypto and Bitcoin right now, it looks like the move up just got sold off, right? So this spike up got sold off. Let's see if that follows in the other. Yeah, that got sold off here. The move up in JPY is getting sold off at the moment. The move up into the euro out of the dollar is getting sold off. So something must have happened. Let's see if more data came out. Let's see more data. So who knows? Either it was a news event or everything is just selling off. It could be that this was a quick spike to mess with people and the market just resumes course. It was kind of a nothing burger, as I did talk about in the newsletter yesterday that I sent out. And there is a weekly newsletter. It's really a market forecast, and I sent that out via email. If you want to be part of that list, go to the description, get your free algo. Okay, there is a free algorithm. It's a video that I created, and I show you how I build an algo, and I show you how to build this exact algo. I show you how I translate that into code using Grok AI. You can use any AI to do it. And I show you the tools that traders use once they've optimized their algo, which does require optimization. But I show you the tools they use to connect it to their exchange so that they can just have their computer trade it for them while they're not sitting at the machine, whether they're sleeping or golfing or whatever you do. So understand that that algo is pretty awesome. Just make sure you optimize it. And it's when you do sign up for that, all you have to do is give us an email, and we will send you a weekly market update in email every week. We'll remind you when those come out. And I did mention in there that the CPI could be kind of a nothing burger. And in reality, this is more or less of a nothing burger. Let me flip back to that screen. You have just a little bit of a tick down in the core CPI. And basically what that is like, as the market reacts right now, the way that's manifesting here is that metals continue up. That doesn't seem to be affected. The NASDAQ is really showing some bullishness, though. Big move up in the NASDAQ, which is probably why money's leaving the FX market to go into assets here in the NASDAQ. So you can see that on the 5-minute chart, right as the data came out. Man, that's a big move up in the NASDAQ. And the Dow is probably even more so. I'm going to back out to the 30. I'll do the 3-hour chart because this is probably the biggest action of the day. And this right here is a pretty bullish pattern. This overall was a bullish pattern to begin with, right? You see this big triangle, that is a bullish pattern. And because look, here's the thing about it. People always, I don't like to pattern trade. That's for beginners. Okay. You know what the fuck you're talking about. Excuse my language. Here's the deal. I don't pattern trade per se. I don't use the metrics to trade. I do and I don't. I'm more of I trade differently, use algos, but these higher lows right there are very telling. That means the market keeps trying to sell off, but the bulls keep buying sooner and sooner and sooner. And then these highs that are basically at the same level, right here, they are increasing a little bit. That's the bears selling off, kind of defending that more or less same level. And this pattern goes up. That's just almost how it does, like every time. And not every time, but a high percentage of the time. This is going to head up. I don't know what that percentage is on the Nasdaq, but um, across different assets, let me ask, what is the success rate of a bullish ascending triangle? Ascending, didn't spell that right. I'm looking on Gemini right now. It's off screen. To hit targets, question mark. Now, it's kind of a broad question. People measure their targets differently. And we're going to answer this and then head over to the private live lab here. It says here, breakout direction, upward roughly 70 to 77% of the time. Success rate, hitting target, 63 to 70% of the time. Let me go ahead and share this tab. Right? Failure rate, 11 to 13%. Average rise, usually between 30 to 40% in post breakout in stocks. So it's a big, that's like 70 to 70% of the time these things play out when it looks like this big triangle. Well, guess what? You also have, in the end here, realistically, the same thing, right? Not quite. It's not that pretty, but you almost have a pattern within a pattern here. So I'm telling you right now, this is 70 percentile or better that this is going to break upwards. And 30 to 40%, I mean, I would rather just use like fib levels, but your targets on this are 26,387, which also is the all-time high. And if price can break the all-time high, which it looks like it will this month, if not, sooner than that, you're looking at 27,071 for your target there. So we'll probably see all-time highs in the Nasdaq. And a brief look at the SP 500 and Dow before we move on and exit for the private live lab. SP 500 doing even better. This is all-time highs if I'm not mistaken. Yep, pretty sure that's all-time highs. And the Dow has been outperforming everything. And the Dow is right there. 50,000 is here. And V the Gorilla did say Dow 50,000 print the t-shirt. And he's been saying that since Algo Factory began. And that's another reason to join Algo Factory is because we have guys like V the Gorilla with unparalleled skills on calling out the macro. This guy's been calling out geopolitically and stock market wise has been calling it out for years and years. I think V's been saying Dow 50,000 since before we even started Algo Factory. So that said, we are going to head into the private live lab. Thank you for watching. Come back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. EST. Get the algo in the, let me show that. Sorry, I wasn't sharing the tab with the Dow and everything. Give me 1 second. Weird. Okay. Yeah, there was an issue there. There's your Dow 50,000 at that blue line right there. Get the free algo, links in the description. And when you do that, I'll send you the weekly update. And those come out Monday night. I let Monday open. It's Sundays have been super unpredictable. They've been real tricky to trade. But we're about to see all-time, we're seeing all-time highs in the Dow like right now. We just saw an all-time high this morning, like in the last few minutes at 49.9. And we're probably going to see it break 50,000 in the next few days, if not the next few hours. So definitely tune in. We'll see you there. Get the free algo. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you later.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die. We love you. Bye.